I'm not going to make a comment about PTA. If you say BTA, you got to say March.
Okay. Alex Rice from Hex had another good weekend, although we all know Al is a machine offensively, played really well. Matt Schrage from Chucks. Matt's a real good dude. Got hurt at the North-South, missed most of that tournament, so it was good to see that he was 100% healthy and playing well. Your guy Brian Kearns,
who I think was the biggest pickup. I mean, Jibs and my dad don't put pressure on him in the outfield because you got Ryan, Justin, and Danny, but he leads off every game he's at. He extra hits, and he gets on base, and that's what he needs to do, and he does it.
The rich get richer. That's what I can say. When I heard they picked up Kearns, I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah. So, yeah, fantastic player.
Very, very, very good player.
Yeah.
And knows his role.
And, of course, Mike Alonji also on this list from Circus. Mike, one of the best two-way players in softball, just comes out and he'll fight you all day long.
Yeah. Had to embrace that short center role this year. I saw him, he was playing third base a lot for Dynasty previous years. I saw him playing a lot short center this year.
Yeah, he's a versatile kid, and when he came up with Heat, he played I think he might have played a little short. They got, what's his name, Basin, continues to play ball.
And he is.
And he's pitching again tonight in the co-ed.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
right
he's just out.
So he don't stop. And then, of course, your guy Mike Manzella, who I think has been underrated all season for you guys. I think he's been one of your anchors in the lineup.
I got to step in. That's my guy.
Jerry, you go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, that's Mike Manzella. You can't say enough about him. That he accepts his role. He plays, he hits, he bats. I think fourth in the lineup with
he moved up to 3 when Dispenza got injured. So he was batting 4 mostly the whole year.
Yeah, and then he accepts his role. He doesn't say much. He goes about his business. Probably batting the near 900s.
Yeah, he had a fantastic year. I mean, just another nice pickup for this team, and he really embraced the catcher, and he batted 4th, and he did really well this year. So hats off to Mike Manzella. Great season.
And, it's interesting that you mentioned the Dispenza injury, because I'm kind of thinking maybe the outcome is a little different if Danny doesn't get hurt. He was having such a good weekend.
Yeah.
But let's put that picture up. Second team all-tournament guys that were still at the park. Give them their due a little bit. See Hauser in the middle with the long flowing locks.
Think about getting my locks a little longer this year. Next 2025, I'm going to go with the long hair.
Well, you got hair.
Are you going to bring the solutions back too, Jerry?
The solution's done. Long live Obos. Obos is up and coming. We're going to get Mike Manzella, Dan Dispenza, and Wes Shannon and change the world. We're going to shock the world.
There you go. And, of course, the MVP, Corey Briggs and Rismondo.
Congratulations, Jerry.
Congratulations. And I know you mentioned the big catch he made in your game, but he also had a huge catch in the 2-0 win against the 45s, and had that ball got past them, came diving in, sold out to make the catch. And if that ball gets past them, the 45s probably put a couple up, and maybe that's a whole different ball game. So Corey Briggs, he had good offensive numbers, but I got a feeling that he got picked for his defense as much as his offense, because he did a real nice job in center field.
Yes, he did. And when Vito pounded that ball to right center, the park, the Pharaohs were right there. Everyone thought it was a 2-run homer in the gap, and he came out of nowhere, laid out, made a sensational catch, and just hats off to him because right there.
I took a copy off the spin than Justin. So
Well,
that's your fault.
Well, look, I think
you won't be Justin and Danny. I mean, they're two great players, and
the best.
You're just lucky to still see them out at the softball field. I know, but you just got to take advantage of when you see them because they're two great players. I don't think they're towards the end of their careers.
U-Trip, he did something very good, and between Ryan and Justin and Danny, and later on, Brian did a good job out there too. But that was the primary reason why you guys played him as tough as you did, is because you guys have elite defenders at all three positions out there.
Yes.
So now we get to the batting champ.
Another flashback guy.
Flashback guy, 688. That's pretty good with the gloves, folks. Hurt in Joliet last year, which kind of derailed you guys on Sunday. Had the quad injury earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Took him a while to get back into it, but at the end of the year, he was back to being his regular self.
Yeah, Friday night, I think, before the All-Star game, after we beat Savage, I was walking to the parking lot with Iggy, was putting the cleats in the car, and I was talking to him, and I think he might have got one hit, and he missed a couple balls in that game. I could tell he was a little devastated. You know, he gets mad at himself, makes an out or stuff, so I was talking to Iggy, and he came back sad.
Well, and of course, he always plays a good shortstop.
Yes.
So, once again, we're going to take a break before we get to the Summer Series leaders. These are now basically final when we get to them. But again, Sweet Buzz, Gold Rush, support the people that support 16-inch softball. So we're going to start off with the batting average. You had to have 60 at-bats. Came out to 12 at-bats per event. I will say there were some guys that were kind of close that had some averages that might have been a little bit higher. The one guy in particular, Wes Shannon, but unfortunately the last two tournaments BTA didn't do quite as well as you would have expected him to do, and he didn't get a lot of at-bats the last two tournaments. So Brian Koronkowski from Circus ends up as our batting champ. He hit .598, which is pretty darn good. And a kid that I talk about on the streams, but nobody really gives a lot of credit to, Billy Quirk from Iron.
Yeah.
He had a triple and also had a big hit in the All-Star game as well.
I was going to say, he came in and I think he pounded one towards right center, and the Iron guys were all there making noise, so yeah, he had a fantastic season.
Yeah, he had a great year. Kurt Ostrom from Hex,
Congratulations, Kurt.
559,
Still
or as
doing
I
it?
call him, the straw that stirs the drink.
And I think Kurt embraced it. I think he became the two-hitter this year for the Hex team.
Yes, he
really
did.
embraced it, and really they moved him up in the order, and the results were there. He played fantastic all year.
Well, Kurt's a highly competitive kid. He's an excellent outfielder, very talented. He kind of talks like he's an old man now, but, you know, old as me and Jerry.
Yeah.
That's old.